Smooth Maker JDL from the legendary Cold Crush Brothers. All right, but check it. What you need to do is check out Track Stars Radio. Word up, my man Santana and them. They be doing it real big. So don't forget, Track Stars Radio. Holla.
Yeah, back in the field with the Track Stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. What's good? How you doing, man?
Everything's good, man. I'm still fighting some allergies and stuff, but God's still good, bro.
God's still good, man. All right, man. Once again, this episode is brought to you by Audible.com. Make sure you go to audibletrial.com /Trackstars, Trackstars with a Z. And make sure you go get this book. I'm listening to a book right now called Contagious. If you're an artist out there and you're trying to figure out how to get like a contagious following behind your brand, you need to check that book out, man. Listen to that while you're on the bus. Listen to it while you're on your way to work. That book will help you out a lot. And I got a couple more suggestions for you, too. So go get a free book on the Track Stars. Go to audibletrial.com /Trackstars. So bad news for Ryan. He had some family issues he's dealing with right now, so he couldn't be here with us today. So me and Jeremiah are holding it down. My wife is on camera today. So, yeah, man, we gonna get this thing going.
Just
Any news for this week?
I don't know, man. I mean, we got some things going on. You know what I'm saying? You know, of course, we in our brand new spot. So shout out to that. You know, some of the music I was just playing, The Outsiders, TMNT, JG, Foster Boy featuring Flo. If you like those joints, free downloads, go pick them joints up, man. Yeah, man.
Make sure you go to our website, trackstars.co. For all the latest, man, we're doing a lot, man. We've been working on the studio nonstop, trying to get it exactly right. We were working on some music earlier today. That I'm trying to get a track done soon. My boy Nick Baldwin was working on that for me.
Yeah.
So that may be coming out soon. But yeah, just keep in touch with us, man. All right. So we've been getting a lot of noteworthies and messages from you guys recently, especially coming from the Pro app. So shout out to everybody who has a Trackstars Pro app. It's on iTunes and Android app stores. So I'm gonna read this one. We're gonna get into it, and we're actually streaming live right now on Periscope. So if go get Periscope and check us out. We may do this more often. We're still working on our internet connection here at the new place, so that'll be up soon. But until then, let's get into it. All right, this one is called Christian Swearing. So if you guys on Periscope have questions, just make sure you type it to me, and I'll try and let y'all weigh in too. All right, it says, hey, Track Stars, I love your guys' show, and you have shown me some artists that I've never heard of outside of Reach. I started to look up artists on my own that Rapzilla has endorsed and random people that I've seen featuring all over CHH. I've noticed several artists that choose to swear in some of their songs. In context, they don't sound wrong or even out of place because they're either talking about race, abuse, frustration, or any other social norms where words like the N-word and the explicit versions of dang and butt would be, this is great, this is written well, would be used. But after I listen to it, I think to myself, was that word usage really necessary to get your point across? I feel like I have to skip those songs in front of my churchy friends now because I never play anything but Christian music in front of them. But when some artists come around and start saying words like that, it gets weird. Should I stop listening to those artists, and how should I look at swearing as a Christian? Here are some of the songs I can't think of off the top of my head to get you to listen to. Jim Crow by Sho Baraka, Eastside Church Boy by John Gibbs, Wings by Belief. Is that how you say his name? Belief? Belief? Yeah. Arrogance by Ruslan. Is it Ruslan? I heard him say his name like yesterday too. Insomniac Dreams by Ruslan. Give It Away by John Gibbs. Enchantment by John Gibbs. He's on here a lot. Bankrolls by John Gibbs. Frustrated Christian by Kurt Kennedy, a.k.a. Voice. Paula Dean by Kurt Kennedy. And a few more songs by off Kurt Kennedy's Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 albums. I know most of those were John Gibbs, and only one wasn't from King's Dream, but I have found it really heavily in that group. I love the Dream Junkies. Ruslan has the best album of 2015 out right now, and John is definitely in my top 5 favorite artists, so I promise I'm not trying to bash them. They just swear the most. Christian swearing. What do you think, Jeremiah? What do y'all think, too?
Wow. What do I think? I don't know, man. Sometimes it all depends on the people. Like, sometimes they may feel like they're Christian, but they still want to be on the edge. So they feel like they want to do it. Is it right? it may sway some people away from them because, like you said, some people may feel like this is too much for me. I got saved. I don't want to hear cursing no more. And then some people may be like, if it's in the right content, I understand why he's saying what he's saying. Me personally, I don't know, man. The N word it's. I've heard Bizzle use that before. I don't know, man. I think it all depends on the person because I think the person, what that person is, it doesn't give them excuse, but you will understand why they still using it. And the question is, are they getting discipled or somebody in their life saying, hey, man, I think that's a little too much. I don't think you should swear right here, man. I don't think you should swear at all and then have that conversation with them. So I think that's my opinion.
Okay. It's an interesting topic, man. It's hard because I was just listening to what's his name? Starts with a P. We just talked about him all day today. What is his name? Propaganda. I was listening to him on the Bad Christian podcast, and they curse on their podcast.
Really?
Yeah, like seriously. So it was.
Hold on.
Yeah. You never heard of this?
I think are they on? I heard about them on breathecast.com.
Yeah.
But they curse like.
They curse. F.
Really?
Everything. All the way in.
Wow.
All the way in. So
and the sad thing, not the sad thing, but the thing is, they getting pushed.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a good podcast.
Really?
It's good. I mean, it's solid. Like they push the XXX church stuff about no pornography. That's their biggest stance.
Yeah.
Is against pornography. But yeah, they curse on the show. They
So what is the people? I remember Trip Lee got interviewed by them.
Yeah, Prop, Lecrae, everybody.
So what? Like, how do they like?
One of them is a pastor.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's interesting because it just depends on your views. Is cursing a sin? Is cursing a sin? Because that's people debate that. And is it necessary? Is it wise? I guess that's the question.
I think it's just all about your usage. You know what I mean? Like, see, now this is taken away from Christian hip hop to preaching almost. Because I'm thinking now it's like, if I'm a pastor, why am I cursing? What do I need to curse for? Going back to what you're saying, not judging them, but just what do you need to curse for?
Well, okay, so this is, I haven't heard them defend the cursing on the show yet. I'm sure they have a reason for it. But most people that I've heard defend it is the Bible never says that cursing is bad. It says that cursing as far as bad language. It says that cursing as far as like cursing somebody, like you're going to hell or I hate you, blah, 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 that kind of thing. That's what they say the Bible is saying about cursing. So that's kind of like their caveat out of it. Blue Like Jazz is another book. Remember we read that book? And he was kind of loose on that and drinking and smoking cigars and that whole thing. So there's two styles of Christians. So I'm not going to say anything negative. There's two styles. There's a style of Christian that's more on the we need to help people, we need to actually do things for people side. And then there's the side that's more we got to get the theology right side. And there's good and bad about each side. I think the perfect blend is right in the middle. But, people don't see it as a issue. You know what I mean? So
yeah. But what about to somebody like, to the person that wrote us in, like to them, it could feel like this is swaying me.
It could be confusing. Yeah, it could be confusing. It just depends. It depends. To me, this is more of a wisdom issue than a right and wrong type issue.
Yeah.
To me, as far as right and wrong is concerned, it's like drinking. Should Christians drink? And there's several Christian hip hop artists that drink. So it's not wrong to drink, but the question is it wise?
Ooh.
Call people out on the thing.
She called somebody out on that thing. She put names.
I'm sure most of them drink. I'm just being honest. I mean, I'm sure
that living water, right? The Jesus, the quench,
that
Grey
bourbon
Goose.
and Hennessy. But I mean, and it's like if you do that, it's not wrong. It's just it's a wisdom issue, especially the people we're trying to reach. They have a big issue with that.
Yeah.
Is that something you want to do?
That's true.
But then some people say if you're so staunch against something that's not really biblical, then are you doing the right thing?
Yeah, that's true.
That's a back and forth debate. So I think cursing falls into that. It's like it doesn't feel wise to me, but I wouldn't say that they're disqualified. You know what I'm saying? It's just a little sketchy, and that's why I think a lot of people back. This is when we did the Kendrick conversation. Because they don't feel like, oh, he's cursing, but the message is really good. You know what I mean? So it's a sticky point. I don't know if anybody really knows the answer. It really comes down to, can you curse in your prayer?
I mean,
would you curse in your prayer? Like,
I think of somebody who, let's say somebody who is just got saved. They don't know how to talk to God. They may be angry about something, and they're like, God, help me, be with me, show me how to do this, show me how to how to really live this out. So they start off first as like, okay, we're going to start off. You may start there, but then you keep growing and you keep growing and you keep growing. And then sooner or later, that's not in your mouth no more. That's not even like, you don't even want to say that no more. You know what I'm saying? That you don't even want to continue to go in that verbiage of talking and stuff like that. So I think the thing is, you shouldn't stay there. That's what my thing is. Like, you have to learn how to not just you got to move on. That's what I'm saying. It can't be a sin.
Moses cursed when he broke the first set of, what you said, iPads. Did Moses curse when he broke the tablets? Some people said that there's actually some. Sorry, I just ran to the door to get Trey. This is Trey. What's going on?
And breathing heavy.
Yeah, I'm out of shape. But anyway, but yeah, they're saying there's a lot of strong language in the Bible. Like, brood of vipers is probably not the nicest word to say to a group of people. Call people.
So what will be curse words in the Bible? Like you just said, brood of vipers. Like, was that like?
Calling people like what are all the people got called some bad names. Not I don't know if it was cursing in their language. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I could say some Jamaican curse words and y'all probably wouldn't say nothing about
yeah.
it. So it's not like it's wrong. Like, if I said a curse,
but our Caribbean people would mute you.
Maybe, but it wouldn't make any sense in your context.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
That's why I think it's more of a. It's not like you saying the word is a sin.
Yeah.
But is it wise to say a word that has such a strong connotation and makes people's minds go somewhere
that's
you
true.
don't want it to go? So
yeah.
That's where. And then people say, of course, what about acting? What about movies? If you're a Christian, would you curse in a movie? I mean, we had Beyonce here, and he's done that, and I never seen the beginning of what's the movie?
Freedom Fighters.
Freedom Fighters.
I've never seen Freedom Fighters
in the beginning, but I've never heard him curse in that movie. Freedom Riders. Yeah,
Freedom
Fighters.
I was a Freedom Fighter.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've never heard him curse in that movie, but he said that he did.
Yeah.
And you would for a role because you're playing the role of somebody else. So I don't know.
It all depends, it's tough, man. I think it all depends. But I think music is different though, because like if you're a Christian, like let's say you got saved and somebody's like, man, I want to make an exit from what I'm listening to. I think you should stand out, man. I think certain things is like somebody has to be there while you record and you listen to it, and somebody has to be mature enough to say, hey man, what's going on? Why are you cursing right here? I mean, what is that about? And if you're bold enough to say, hey, as an artist, like, hey, I don't find that offensive. And then that's when a real godly conversation can happen, and you have that conversation. And then if they take away, you could agree to disagree. But you got to also know if to be played at youth ministries. Yeah. So if somebody's
saying I don't care, I don't want my stuff played at youth ministries. I think we're in an interesting place with Christian hip hop where it's like a teenager right now.
Yeah.
We're in a place where it's like there's people who are saying I was called to reach the lost. I don't care about these youth groups. I don't care what you guys think.
That's great.
I'm doing this for them.
That's lovely, but whoever's saying that, if they're popular, they're still getting played in somebody's youth group.
But then again, it comes back on us.
Yeah.
We could say, man, Line for Line is for the people who don't know about these Christian artists.
Yeah.
But then we got the message saying, hey, I let my little kids listen to track stars, but I have to turn off Line for Line because of the songs. They don't know T.I., they don't know Jay-Z, they don't know all these people, and you're introducing them to them.
Yeah.
So it comes back on us as well. Like, how do we deal with that part of it?
I mean, even with that, do you feel as though that if you're trying to reach the lost and you're using the language of the lost, I would say, would you present a connotation of saying that language is okay even after you're found?
Well, I think the thing is, what I'm starting to see, the world looks at us like, okay, if you're not different, then why should I get saved?
Exactly.
Are we assuming they're saying that?
I believe they're saying that. The reason why I'm saying that is because what I'm starting to see, like when people do stuff or you're hearing stuff and they like Creflo, man, Creflo Dollar. This is just out of just using an example.
Yeah.
When that Creflo Dollar airplane story hit, people were talking about that everywhere. And it's looking like the average person looking like, oh, he's just pimping his congregation. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even know what he's really using that for or whatever. I mean, I'm not going to pay for it, nothing. But at the same time, what I mean by that is like just being different. And I think that's why the church sometimes is having that ineffective. It's like we're trying to be what we're trying to reach. And it's like when they come in, they're going to be like, this is nothing different than what I'm doing but now, so why should I get saved? What's the difference?
Man, that was a great question. Somebody actually said on Periscope earlier that the person who wrote it sounds like they're 65. They sound like super duper mature beyond their years because it was well written. It was a great question. Hard to answer, honestly, because I don't want to discount these people's hearts because they could have great hearts and you don't know anybody's heart. So you just got to pray for these people. They're making decisions based on what they believe God is allowing and telling them to do. So you have to allow them to go down the path that they feel they have to walk. If God doesn't like it, he'll pull them back. If he does, he'll keep pushing them forward. They gotta deal with God themselves.
But it's okay. Prime example. It's people know where we do music as well.
Yep.
So if I'm saying something crazy, I'm hoping you, Ryan Righteous, maybe Miles Austin, maybe Sincere, somebody in our camp will say, Jeremiah, what are you doing?
Yeah, but what if you like, man, God told me to cuss to these streets.
And they're gonna look, y'all gonna look at me like, really? Really? Like, really? Like, are you serious? You think that's really what he told you? Like, I'm serious. Like people who know us, like, that's what I'm saying. You got to get somebody who knows.
So you're right. So basically you're saying what we're saying about them because we don't know them is kind of like on the fence. But if it was us, we'd be like, nah, dude, don't do that.
I mean, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean, we had those conversations.
Like, don't do that.
Dude, we had those conversations with artists that's on us like, yo, what is he talking about? What is he saying? What is like what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And I know our wives would be like, babe, what's up?
So what do you think? Do you think they're straying away?
I don't think they're straying away.
Are they right?
I think,
where is it?
I think they just may not have nobody bold enough in their lives to say, hey, man, why are you cursing?
So you think they're doing the wrong thing?
I don't think they're doing the wrong thing. I think questions hasn't come up yet. And if they have, and they just saying, like you said, hey, man, I feel like this is where I need to go, then that's where somebody in your life got to be like, let's have that conversation. Let's go. You shouldn't still be cursing because how do you perform that? Like at the end of the day, we get called to go different places. Like talking about musicians, like rappers and stuff like that. So you may have where you go into a bar, you may go into a nightclub and perform your song, whatever. That's great. God is getting light there. But it may be a time when somebody may say, hey, man, I love Believe. I love Ruslan. I hope I just butcher his name. I love these cats. Kirk Kennedy, I want them to bring them in. But then somebody's like a pastor, something's like, I don't know. They got some songs. They saying some stuff in some songs I can't back.
And I really feel as though, like you said, like the question hasn't come up yet.
Yeah.
And I feel like the question might not have come up yet due to the knowing of context. Because it kind of brought me back to these moments where you see something, you hear somebody say something that you're just like, what? Why would you get that? But everyone around them understands what they mean.
Yeah.
But from the outside looking in, it doesn't translate as easily.
Yeah.
So you want to know, how do I know what you mean? Can you put it in a way where the person who is not with you on the daily basis, the person who you say, doesn't know your life, show them your life so that we can understand.
Yeah.
So I really just, open up the door, and I guess somebody needs to ask questions.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's get back into it. You in the field with the track stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.